to the cloud. So I definitely want to thank everyone for coming out again to our series. The refueling series is what we're calling it. Essentially, we decided at Project Find that we wanted to do something for the essential workers in our agency because COVID and kind of the fight against racial injustice definitely has taken a toll on people who are on the front lines, who many of whom are people of color. And so we wanted to do something to be able to support our workers and to also support people, not just in New York, but anywhere. And the front lines doesn't mean you could be at home and still on the front lines. And I think that's one of the things that I've noticed. And so I wanna just say thank you. And first, Project Find is an elder service agency, and we celebrated 50 years last year. And we're excited by that. And we primarily service older adults, and we have 4 senior centers. We have 3 housing programs where over 550 seniors are in affordable housing in New York. And that's like $1,200 to live in Manhattan.
Wow.
Right down the street from Trump's place at 59th Street. So you can imagine what the actual market is, and we've been able to preserve that affordable housing, and we plan to do that for perpetuity, for always. And so, so I just want to thank you, one, for coming. I want to thank our presenters for saying yes to the call, and I'm going to go ahead and get out the way and first let you all introduce yourselves, and then I'll hand the floor to Sabrina. Just a matter of housekeeping is that I will definitely make sure to put everyone on mute. And as our presenters are talking, we will have a Q&A at some point as well. So thank you all very much. Let me try to put myself on mute, and Sabrina, if you can.
Good evening, everyone. Hello, hello. My name is Sabrina Robinson. I am a licensed cosmetologist here in Laurel, Maryland. I've been licensed since the year 2012. This is one of my many, many passions, but I started in entrepreneurship definitely to be somewhat of a voice in the community, just because I know that young people need to share their stories. Young people need to connect with older groups. I think it's very important that all of us stay connected. So thank you, Mark, for having me. And I'm ready to share whatever is needed, whatever knowledge is needed, whatever joy I can spread to everybody. That's my goal here.
All right. So I'm Angela Wigglesworth. I am one half of a team called Foot Focused Foot Care, and my other half, Melanie, she's here with me. I am a licensed manicurist. The name of my business is called Naturally Nailed, and I've been licensed since 2003, I believe. Yeah, I've been licensed since 2003. And so Melanie, I'm gonna let you go ahead and introduce yourself.
All right. Hello, everyone. My name is Melanie Eggleston. As Angela mentioned, I'm the other half of Foot Focus Foot Care. I'm a licensed nail tech. I'm a certified master pedicurist. I have been licensed for under a year. I'll be coming up on my year-long licensure. It's been a long journey. I've always wanted to do nails and be a part of this industry, so I'm just glad that I am living my dream.
Yes. So Melanie actually is my pedicurist because I'm diabetic and I just can't go anywhere and get my feet done. And we were talking one day and we were like, you know what? There are not enough brown faces in nail education, but there are a lot of brown faces that do nails. There are a lot of brown faces that educate. So we wanted to create a platform for brown faces, African American, Latino, Native American, Indian, any brown faces to be on. We're dreaming for a worldwide platform to educate both consumers and nail techs on foot care. And the profitability of, I mess up words sometimes, so I think I got that one right. The profitability of in pedicuring. I got a mail, profitability.
Yes, you got it.
Thank you, ma'am. And that's us, Foot Focus Foot Care.
Oh, Sabrina, you can go ahead and start.
So Mark wanted me to just talk about transitioning during COVID and, knowing that they shut down everything. So I was unable to get into my shop. They had everything on lockdown, which was different. This is the first time for me in my lifetime that I've ever had to experience something like this, not being able to interact with my clientele on the daily basis that I do. So that it was different. It was a little hard. Luckily, I have loyal clientele, so I was able to create new ways for me to keep them as my clientele and also teaching them how to be patient with whatever was going on. So I'm a master braider and loctician. I only style natural hair. Yeah, that's my thing. I want all brown people to, okay, team locks. I actually got locks under my braids. Yeah, I braided my own hair. Yeah. But, yeah. Come see me. So yeah, trying to transition to learn how to still create some type of revenue for myself without being able to see my clientele was definitely a struggle. Just because it was overwhelming trying to figure out how I could connect with everyone, because everyone obviously doesn't have the hands-on skills that you need when you want to do your hair. So I tried to create something like virtual consultations where, over FaceTime or something like just as simple as Zoom is where I can just sit down with the client and talk them through things, give them tips on type of products that you can use and just trying to talk them through it. Some people into it, some people weren't, some people would just rather wait. And that was okay. It was cool. I also started doing something called virtual gift cards, which is basically like budgeting for your hairstyles and pre-paying for your hairstyles, where you could buy yourself a gift card. So then once outside was opened up, then they would be able to come and already kind of prepay for their appointments, which was definitely a great thing for me in learning how to organize the reopening of my calendar and also keeping everybody on a consistent basis, because we are still in the time of Corona. It has not gone away. People are still getting sick, and we need to know that our health cannot be jeopardized for a bang or a press and curl. We need to understand that our safety and our health has to come first. So that was another thing I had to do to transition. Overall, I've been just coming up with new techniques, new ways that I could get new revenue, and figuring out how to maintain everything. But it's been great. It's definitely been great. So what could be some, if you are into your hair, I see Miss Angela, you have locks. Could I ask you, how was your, if you do have a stylist, how was it not being able to go see them? Or what did you do in the meantime with your hair?
Okay, so I actually just started getting back into self-care.
Mhm.
And I'm like, okay, I'm a manicurist. I'm not a man. I'm not a manicurist. I'm a manicurist. You know, I'm doing pedicures. It's a lot of just, I call it snow, AKA dry skin, flying in the air. I need to make sure that I am taking care of my hair. So I'm gonna say within the last 6 months, I started getting my hair done on a regular basis. And since I'm older, I'm 43. I know that I have a lot of people who were even older than me who hair started thinning out. I was like, I'm not going to get my hair done like every month like I was doing when I was getting my hair done. So I would go like every 3 months or so to get my hair twisted. And I'm be honest, try to wash my hair in between then. So I just, like, since the quarantine, I've washed my hair maybe like once or twice, and I've done my maintenance once. And that's about it. But it was hard because I used that time as my getaway time, like get away from my husband, get away from my daughter, get away from my house, get away from my business, get away from everything, and just like focus on myself, even if it's for 2 hours. So it was hard. Like, it was hard not having that time to just stop and get away and to only be doing my hair because I didn't want to look crazy.
Well, I like to think that when you're at home, you should still take care of yourself. It's very, very important that if you cannot be hands-on with yourself, at least do the bare minimum, like you said. Even though looking crazy or not having your hair properly managed, you know, again, was something else that they put in our heads as far as looking suitable. It's definitely important, I think, as far as when you have natural hair, is to keep it simple. Your hair is your hair is a flower. Your hair is a plant. So typically, all you really need is some water and a good nutrient for your hair. I use things like Jamaican black castor oil for my hair, which is, let me see if I can bring it closer for you guys. Jamaican mango lime, Jamaican black castor oil is a great, 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 great oil that you can use for any type of natural hair. And I mix it with a wild growth. You can typically find these at any beauty supply store, but these wild growth hair oils, when you mix these with these, are great, 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 just simple oils that you can use. And like you said, moisturizing your hair. So if you have natural hair, no matter if it's curly, straight, whatever texture, locks, whatever you may have, just a little bit of water and oil can go a very, very long way for your hair. In times like this, when you don't have your professional and you can't get to, you know, the best things that you may want to use. And that's why I'm asking, you know, for you, you know, or for anybody in the house, you know, just a quick scalp massage, penetrating your scalp will help with blood circulation, hair growth, and, you know, again, just that mental, like you said, always taking time out for your crown, because it's very, very important that you protect your mental.
I have a question for you. I just recently learned about the wild growth hair oil. So you're saying, because my hair is natural, I just got it pressed today, but I use it for my kids. So you're saying maybe mix the two and then maybe rub it in?
Yes, you can take a very, very small dime size. The black castor oil, and I have it with tea tree, which is another great one for, like you said, Miss Angela, if you have dry scalp or something like that. So the black castor oil, you can take maybe a dime size, something very small, and you can also take the wild growth in a quarter size, not too big either. And you want to, if you also have another carrier oil, like a coconut oil, jojoba oil, something like that. I also use, I don't know if anybody's local, but I'm sure you can go online. It's a company based out of Baltimore, all organic products I live by, and it's called Cultural Naturals. Cultural Naturals. They're in Baltimore. They're based out of Baltimore, local. Support most all Black businesses, of course. But they have almond oil, avocado oil. Those are great oils that can hold moisture. And when you mix all of those together, you can rub it on the scalp and through the strands of hair, but you don't have to use a lot. A little bit goes a lot away when you do use these oils.
Okay.
And you can use them maybe once or twice out of the week. You don't have to do too much. Okay,
thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
When you get a chance, can you type that into the chat, the name of that oil?
I sure can, you guys. I sure can. I can type all of them in. But just a quick spray to your hair, just like you have a plant. Taking care of your hair is very, very important, even if you can't make it to the shop. But thank you guys for coming to the shop.
I can't wait to get back.
It's important. It's really important for us as a community. For you to go out there and fight whatever mission you on, whatever battle you may have, or whatever motivates you to wake up every day. I think it's really, really important that you start taking care of yourself first before you can go take care of anybody else. It's really, really important. Hey, James. Good to see you.
What's up?
Thanks. Good to see you.
Okay, Sabrina, did you want to say or add anything else, or did anybody have any questions for Sabrina?
I guess I got a question.
What's up, James?
What up? So as you can see, I got a new hairdo recently. So I'm wondering, you guys have any tips for, like, I guess keeping like a afro, a little moisturized and everything like that?
Keeping your afro moisturized.
Yeah.
Same thing. The same thing goes for all natural hair. Just keep it moisturized with water and again, jojoba oil. You can use avocado oil, any type of oil. Just water and oil, and pick it out and rock with your afro. It's great. It's a good look. It's good. That's all you got to do. Less is more when it comes to natural hair. You know, you don't want to use any type of heat.
Yeah.
You want to get into the elements, just let it get sun. If you're looking for it to grow, it's not much you need to do. But if you're just keeping it low, just keep some water and then some oil, and I think you'll be good to go.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I have a quick question.
Okay.
Yes. So for people with, let's say, real coarse natural hair, like about a 4B, what would you suggest for a twist out like cream to help with the curl pattern?
A gel or a custard. You want something that's not too thick. You don't want something that'll leave a lot of buildup. So, and also keeping your ends trimmed is another way to refine your curls and make sure that they lock in when you do a twist out. Do you typically do twist outs with 2-strand twists, plaits, or do you do flat twists?
I generally do 2-strand.
Okay, 2 strands are great. You can do real big sections. You can typically just go ahead and wet it and get you a nice curl custard. I don't have one that I can recommend. I'm sorry. At this time, I don't have one that I can recommend, but I can get back to you if you ever want me to. I can find a great one for you.
I sure will. All right. Thank you.
So you can just section your hair. You can go ahead and comb that through. You want to get your hair really, really saturated all the way to the ends, and you can go ahead and twist it down. But that's an easy, great style, and they last about a week. But you definitely don't want to get something that feels heavy to you. You don't want anything that's heavy that may cause any type of buildup. So if you can find something more of a custard, something with like gel, something with a water base in it, because that way the your hair will hold the moisture. Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna turn it over, and we'll come back around to some Q&A after we have Angela and Melanie kind of grace us with some of their knowledge.
All right. Hey, everybody. Again, my name is Angela Wigglesworth, and I am one half of Foot Focus Foot Care. Melanie Eggleston and I created this group actually during the Rona. We created this group during the Rona. Mel, why did we do this? Why?
So we created this during this pandemic because, one, it was something we already talked about. 2, we had a little bit more time away from our businesses and regular everyday life. And 3, we saw such a need and value in being a voice for, people of color who are manicurists, like Angela said, Hispanic, Black, Native American. We saw that there was a lack of voices in that field. So we came together and created this force to be reckoned with, so to speak, speaking that into existence, and have really just kind of took off from there. So.
And what I know, what I love most about this is exposing manicurists, one, again, to our beautiful brown cocoa colored faces, and two, just letting them know that a lot of manicurists like don't do feet, and I don't know what it is, and I don't know why, but they don't. And we're like, wait a minute, y'all are missing out on really good money by doing pedicures. Like most of, and it's because but Melanie and I have both went through a series of advanced training. We are both certified master pedicurists. They do have those in the New York area. So if you are diabetic, immunocompromised, if you have special issues with your feet and you know you just can't go anywhere to get your feet done, or there are health concerns that you have, you don't want to go to your there I call it a five and dime or non-standard, let me say that, nail salon, because they're not taking the extra measures in sanitation and the way that they do your feet. They're not using the right implements for people who have those special conditions. So you want to make sure that you seek out CMPs anyway, because Mel knows I just like blah, 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 circle, square, triangle, everything. So we wanted to use what we learned being certified master pedicurists to help the Black community that suffers from diabetes and hypertension, all those things that you can tell what's going on with the person by looking at their feet. And so we wanted to bring more awareness to the community to say, hey, listen, guys, you got to take care of your feet. Hey, manicurists, go out there, get some training so that you can take care of these special feet and turn it into a revenue producing opportunity for yourself. Like, feet are nasty, feet are great. Like, if I live to be 100, I'm trying to walk. I'm not trying to push in a wheelchair. I need to be able to walk around. And that starts with me taking better care of my health, particularly my foot health.
Exactly. Your feet have to get you from point A to point B, as Angela mentioned. One passion of mine is, as Angela said, she's diabetic. My dad's diabetic. So looking at this past couple of months, he's had 2 toe amputees. He's had to have his toes removed. During the time when COVID first kind of hit strong, he was diagnosed with it. He was at a rehabilitation center during that time. And, he was struggling. He had a lot of things going on with his health. He pulled through by the grace of God. But, so for me, it's near and dear to my heart for everyone to pay attention to their health, and look at your feet, because that's a really important part of it. They have, it's a such thing as COVID toes. So, a lot of things can be shown through your feet. And I think people take it for granted when they're going to these salons who, one, the people do not look like them, and that's fine. However, you need to know if they know what they're doing. And a lot of the times when you go to these salons and you're going, these NSS, non-standard salons, you're going there and they can't tell you anything about what they're doing. And you don't know what they're doing because you think it's the norm. You want to educate yourself and you want to educate them when you go and tell them, hey, listen, what are you using as your sanitation methods? Can you tell me what your protocols are? And so we are just trying to equip everyone with the awareness, not just, nail technicians, not just people in the industry, but also people who are clients, future clients, so that everyone can protect themselves, because you may think it's a harmless, everyday action going to your local, corner store, as I call it, nail salon, and you could walk out with a lot more than you bargained for.
Yeah, actually, I was in the trainings during COVID. A lot of Melanie and I both believe in continuing education, but during the COVID, people were just basically throwing education at nail tech. So we both attended several trainings on sanitation, and I can't go. I'm that person who will go to a nail salon and be 2 inches from the bowl and be like, yeah, champ, I can't put my feet in the water. Because I see things that they do and I'm like, I'm going to just go without polish. Like, I can't do it. I can't do it. So It's so much training out here nowadays. But in different trainings that we have taken, they were saying that millions of people contract athlete's foot and onychomycosis, which is a toenail fungus, from the nail salon every year, like millions of people.
And let's not forget,
it's avoidable. It's avoidable, y'all.
Yeah.
10 minutes. That's all it literally takes is 10 minutes in between each person to properly sanitize a bowl. That's it, and implements. 10 minutes.
And a lot of the times, you know, you have to look at what they're sanitizing with. You know, I mean, I know everybody thinks bleach is the cure-all, be-all, end-all, but not when it comes to foot fungus, tinea pedis. That's athlete's foot. And that's something that's very common, but it's also something that's hard to get rid of, too. You know, you can get a case of that, and it could just spiral it out of control, and it could take a long time to get rid of, and your infection can go from being very mild to being extremely severe. And I've seen, you know, a lot of different cases of people with it and trying to, you know, really get rid of it. And it's been taking them a long time.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So, Melanie, why don't we get into what we have and for our participants in this virtual refueling series. I would imagine that a lot of you guys have to check on your clients, and that you have to make sure that, I mean, you're doing a lot of walking around. I would imagine that you're just doing a lot of walking around, going from building to building, place to place to make sure people are doing good, walking around the office, doing those things. So we just wanted to give you some tips and some tools that you can use to make sure that that your feet will last longer than your career, so that once you retire, you move on, you're able to walk around the beach and have a good time because your feet are still lasting.
Exactly. So let me just, you know, as we get started, you know, Angela and I both mentioned that we were CMPs, which stands for Certified Master Pedicurists. So just a quick synopsis of what that is. We are trained to work with diabetic patients, oncology patients, geriatric patients, clients, let me not say patients, clients. And, you know, we have had extensive training in sanitation and hygiene, processes and protocols, just a lot of things outside of your normal nail technician training. And, you know, we take these classes, as Angela said, regularly, especially now, you know, just to make sure that we are keeping up with industry standards that go above and beyond Maryland standards. Angela and I both operate on a higher platform, if you will, of sanitation and guidelines than what Maryland calls for. So sometimes, you know, what you don't know, you know, we like to explain to our clients.
Mm-hmm. So we're going to talk about taking care of your feet because you're on them all day long. You got to, like Sabrina said, hit the nail on the head, and this is what this series is all about. You have to take care of yourself before you take care of everybody else, all right? So we're gonna show you how to take care of your feet. And we're gonna operate from like the outside in, meaning we're gonna talk about your shoes first, because shoes do matter. If your heels of your shoes are starting to fade away, then you got to make sure that you're getting your shoes replaced on a regular basis. Now, we'll go over all of that, but even more of the way your foot is shaped will determine the type of shoes that you need to get. So we're going to start again from the outside, talking about your shoes, and then going to the inside, telling you how to take care of your feet during this period.
Okay, so let's just start off saying, let's get some properly fitting shoes. Wear a good running or walking shoe. You want to make sure that you invest in your feet. And a couple of brands, and you know, you may have some others that you know you may know of or could recommend. Rockport, Skechers, Clarks, Dansko, and then we have like New Balance. Like a lot of people like New Balances and have different shoes that they really enjoy. So you know, you can look some up too, because I know that there are a lot that we have not listed, but you want to make sure you are looking at the brand. And when you have your shoe, you have to make sure they fit correctly. So it doesn't matter if the shoe is $50, $100, $1,000. If the shape does not fit your foot, then your foot will always be in pain. So the shape of the shoe must match the foot. And what that means is the toe box should be nice and wide, right? Is your foot pretty narrow or is it pretty wide? You need to look at that. Is your arch normal? Is it high or is it low? Now, I know a lot of us ladies, we like to wear our high heels and things like that. But of course, you know, when you're working, you want to have something that's more comfortable. And even if it's, you know, a little bit out of your price range, sometimes those shoes have warranties or guarantees, depending on if you were looking to wear them for a long time.
Okay. So where are you going to get these shoes from? I know I for one, I have a daughter who has cerebral palsy, and I can't, well, Payless is gone, but she could not wear Payless shoes. Like, on average, my daughter shoes cost about $60. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, you're going out of them every 3 months. But I take her to a store because they still have them, even in New York. I'm pretty sure they still have them around, that has, they specialize in fitting you for your shoe. Now, for adults, you want to go to a running store, even if you're not a runner, because I am not. I will go to a store that's special. Well, I'm looking at myself instead of at you guys. I'm sorry. I'll go to a store that specializes in running shoes because I know they're going to fit me properly. So the last time I was fitted was maybe like a year and a half ago, and my foot had stretched by a whole half a size. So I was wondering why I couldn't find any shoes that fitted me properly. And it was because my shoe, and I was in denial because I was already in a size like 12. I'm very tall, but I was like, there's no way in the world that I'm going to start wearing 12 and a half, 13 size shoes. But it was what I needed to do because I couldn't find any good running and honestly walking shoes. So you want to go somewhere, one, where they will professionally fit your shoes. Understand that it is quite normal based on your weight and your age for your shoe size to change. Measure both feet, okay, because one foot will always be longer than the other. And see if the store has a place where they could test your gait. So I cannot wear Nikes. Like, Nikes are not the shoe for me. So I needed to, they're too flat for my feet. So I needed to go somewhere that has the right shoe for me. Make sure you wear socks when you get fitted for your shoes. Measure your shoe for your longest toe, not your big toe, because we have some people where that second toe is longer than the big toe. And if you have orthotics, you have to wear them. Orthotics are what you put inside of your shoe so that your foot will be stable. Again, if your ankles are turning in or turning out, it just doesn't affect your ankle. It affects your spine, your gait, your hips, all of that. So if you find like you're getting new shoes all the time, but your back and your body in different places, they're still hurting, then you probably need to go see a podiatrist to get yourself a really good pair of orthotics. And then you want to make sure that you replace your shoe on a regular basis. The average shoe has about 300 to 400 miles or walking on them. So if you look at your shoe and it seems to be worn out and it's not fitting you properly, or you notice that your hip or your back lower region is starting to hurt you a little more often, take a look at your shoes. If that sole is starting to rub in this way or that way with heel, then it means that it is time for some new shoes. And Mel, it looks like we have like about 1 or 2 minutes left. So if we could just quickly go through what they need to do in order to take care of their feet.
Okay, so we've talked about, how to properly fit your shoes. So just to make sure that you know what optimum foot health looks like, make sure you wash your feet daily, dry in between your toes. That's very, very important. You want to make sure you're using clean socks. Use a weekly callus softener treatment. Our favorite callus softener is Footlogix. Use a stainless steel file just to slough that dry skin off your feet. Make sure you do not use a grater, a petty egg, or a pumice stone, and that's because they can create micro tears in your foot. You want to use something that is very fine and made to also protect your foot when you are sloughing off that skin. If you must soak your feet, only soak your feet for 5 minutes. Trim nails straight across the top. You want to make sure you do that so that you don't get a lot of ingrowns or mess your sidewalls up. Leave the Vaseline alone. Vaseline can just build up on your skin. It's not really penetrating through, so you want to make sure you use a non-occlusive foot cream. A non-occlusive foot cream such as Footlogix, that is a really good one. It's mousse and it has urea in it. Urea is very penetrating and moisturizing. Mm-hmm. You want to switch out your shoes daily, and you want to use a shoe deodorant. You definitely want to do that. And one step you can take today is, spraying your shoes with Lysol until you get the shoe deodorant, if you cannot swap out your shoes every day.
And thank you.
Yes.
All right, so one, I just want to give you all virtual claps and want to thank you for that advice. we want to move into your time, right? The participants' time, and want to have a Q&A. So what I want to do so that we can sort of move through is that if you have some questions, if you can type them in the chat down below, and we'll try to see if we can alternate to go through some of the answers. We have about 20 minutes to respect everyone's time who came, and so we'll sort of go from there. So if you have some questions that are coming up, if you can type them in, that would be great. I can say that I definitely learned something about the petty egg, because as seen on TV is supposed to be the best thing in the world.
No, sir. As seen on TV needs to stay on TV.
Right. So I want to thank y'all for that. So let's see. If I don't see you chatting in the chat, if you want to unmute yourself to ask a question and mute yourself back, that can also work as well.
So I do have a question for Sabrina. I hear different, what's the word I'm looking for? Theories or opinions on when you should start trimming your child's hair. Like, when do you think is a good age to start trimming the hair for children?
A good age to start trimming children's hair, I think best is they can sit still. The moment they can sit still and keep the hair still, there's no problem with trimming the child's hair. As long as they can sit still, you don't snip anything. I think. I can hear my connection. Can you guys do it?
Yeah, Sabrina, you might want to switch over to your phone. And so in the meantime, let's go ahead. There was a question in the chat I thought I saw from Anna Cody saying, what brand of foot deodorant do you recommend? Was it Foot Logic?
Yeah, it was Foot Logic's. Melanie and I have in the past used a variety of products, and it's Foot Logic's, Poto Expert, and Imperial Feet are the three products that we have seen work the best. What we like best about Foot Logic's is that it's been tested by science, which means they've gone through the steps to prove that their product does what it is supposed to do. So as far as they actually do have a foot deodorant, and that's good for people who have bronchitis, which is smelly feet, and they have a shoe deodorant, which is microbial. So the fungus and bacteria love warm, dark, and damp. Things that are microbial, they kill things that are warm, dark, and damp. Isn't that right, Mel?
Yes, it is. So using that will definitely help. So we suggest that product, Foot Logic's.
And that's FOOTLOGIX. They're petaceutical. They branded the name petaceutical, which means it is pharmaceutical grade foot care products that you can get over the counter. Oh, is Sabrina back? We have a question for Sabrina.
I think she's just about back.
All right.
So what do we have here? What is your recommendation for a moisturizer for very dry hair?
Moisturizer for moisturizer for very, very dry hair. I again use organic and local Black-owned based business, Culture Naturals, CLUTURED, Culture Naturals, NATURALS.com. They do ship anywhere, so you can still order it. I recommend their stuff. They have good leave-in conditioners, oil-based leave-in conditioners that will be able to moisturize your hair as well as hold the moisture. Because a lot of times people typically only put oil in their hair, but you have to moisturize your hair, meaning you have to put water or put some type of moisture in your hair to lock in the oil that you want to use and for it to penetrate. So just putting oil on your hair, it'll just kind of fall out. You gotta put the water to lock it in into your follicles. And then back to Angela's question, I don't know if I was able to finish explaining to you that if your child is able to sit still and make sure that their hair doesn't get chopped off, it's fine. But when you're looking to trim your hair, you're looking for split ends, only hairs that are split down the follicles. So for a child, because their hair is still growing and changing textures, I don't think until, I would say, maybe 3 or 4, as early as if need be. But before then, you just kind of want the child's hair to be natural, let it continue to form into its full texture that it really has, is what I would for the child.
All right, we got a couple other questions on the floor.
Okay, trying to get back.
What is your recommendation for I think we did that one, maybe, for the dry hair. Let's move over to how can we determine if a nail salon has CMPs? Is that correct? My mom has diabetes and I want to give her the salon experience, but safely.
There is a CMP search for North American School of Pedology. We can put that in the chat. Angela is close to the DC area. If you're in DC or if you're in New York, wherever you are, you can always search for one by going to that website. So I'll put that in the chat.
I put it in there. Oh, wait a minute. I spelled podology wrong. P-O.
Exactly. Like, I looked it up. There you go.
Got it. Thank you.
Oh, wait, I sent it to the wrong person. Sorry. There you go.
Awesome. You're so awesome. So yeah, if you go to that website and you just put in your zip code, they'll find CMPs in your area. Now, I will say this. The pedicures will not be priced your average pedicure. My pedicures are about $90, and males are about the same, but you don't have to come to me every 2 weeks. Most of my clients come, they want to come. I'm like, Lord Jesus, you don't have to come, but you could come every 6 weeks and get your feet done. So if you are only getting your feet done every 6 weeks, if you're going somewhere else and paying $40 to maybe $50 twice a week versus going somewhere and paying $90 every 6 weeks, and you know that you're going to be in a safe environment, then it is definitely worth the investment, especially if you or your parents or whoever you're caring for has healthcare products. Has special need, like health needs.
All right, so I see a couple questions on the table. So one very quick one for you, Sabrina, and then one for my fellas, a question there, so hooray. So first is, how often do you braid your hair, Sabrina? That's a quick question. And then the other one is from Romy over there that says, I wear hats all day, every day. And does this speed up hair thinning? And if so, is there a restoration product? And let me know too if there's one of those for me.
Okay. Mark, you definitely gonna have to stick with the bald head. But when you're braiding your hair for protective styles, I would recommend no longer than 6 weeks, a minimum of 4. If the braids aren't hurting you or damaging or pulling, your braids should never be tight to the point that you need to take a Tylenol or anything of the sort. That should never be the case when you get your hair done, ladies. So please, 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 go to stylists that have integrity, who actually care about the health of your hair, the necessity of your hair. Because yes, you want your braids to be neat, but you definitely don't want them to pull out your hair. So I would recommend no longer than 6 weeks should you wear a protective style, if you have a protective style. And then for the hat thing, Mr. Romy Rome, I would definitely say your diet. Your diet is definitely going to be another key to your hair growth. So if you can eat a lot of red foods, beets, what else? Cherries. A lot of stuff like that will help circulate your blood, and kind of, if the follicles are still alive, they can restore them. I can't give you a speed. I cannot give you no time, but I can definitely say if you can change your diet and eat and drink water, lots and lots and lots of water, and just eating better, eating cleaner can definitely help. I don't know of any restoration products at this time, but I do know of I'm gonna get back to you. Let me actually Google it. But there is something that people are in the works of. It's something like, I can't even think of the word right now. I'm at a loss for words, but let me look it up and get back to you.
Right, Romy, my grandmother used to make rhubarb pie, and that's red, and it was not the greatest thing in the world, but I'll let you know. There's another question on the floor for Angela and Melanie. Is gel good for your nails, or should one stick to traditional polish? I think that's a great question.
That is a really great question, and the answer to that is, one, it depends on your health, because everyone doesn't need to wear gel polish, so you have to take that into account. If you are in good health, then there's nothing wrong with the gel. Most of the people nails are damaged from gel during the removal process and the prep process. So if your manicurist is using an e-file that's about this big, baby, that's not for your nails. An e-file is about the size of, remember when we were in school, they had those really large pencils that you would win from the carnival? That is the size of an e-file. Anything bigger than that is not designed, there we go. Anything bigger than that is not designed for the toenails, the skin, or the nails, okay? So gel polish, again, it is perfectly fine as long as you are in good health. And even if you're diabetic, there's nothing wrong with the gel polish, but you just need to see, like if your nails are shredding apart and things of that nature, then the way your nail technician is either prepping your nails or removing the polish is what's doing the damage.
And sometimes with gel nails, you can look for someone who does overlays or structured manicures, as they are often called. And those structured manicures can also help with the removal. They're not removed each time.
Yes. Yep. So a structured gel is I don't want to say a better alternative to acrylic, because it's still a form of acrylic. I don't even want to say gentler. It's just different.
Yeah.
It doesn't last as long as your traditional acrylic, which is liquid and powder, but you can soak it off, as opposed to traditional gel, which you actually have to file off. I hope that answers your question, Tia.
All right, great. Please let me know if I missed one of you all in terms of the questions. Just rewrite it, so I'm not trying to stiff you at all. So just hold me accountable. While people are thinking of questions for you, what I would love for you all to talk about a little bit is what's been some of the challenges of one, starting your own business, but I guess two, starting your own business as a Black female.
I guess I can start. It's hard to gain trust. There's not a lot of trust in our community, unfortunately. So I feel like oftentimes I have to overcompensate and prove myself more than anything else. I would like to feel like that, just like Miss Melanie and Angela went to school and took the time out to learn the knowledge and obtain all of the things, because again, we are trying to look out for the safety of our people first. I think it's hard for, unfortunately, people to understand that with those same challenges that everybody else faces, that we have to be compensated in those same ways. So when you go to those, like Melanie said, when you go to those corner store salons, or you go to those African braiding shops, and they may have a price that most people can't afford or agree with, they typically still don't have a problem paying it. But when you're a single or Black woman entrepreneur, it seems like they want to shortchange you because they feel like you should understand where they're coming from, or that we are naturally nurturing people, and that we're just supposed to, because this may seem like a hobby to others, that this is our livelihood and this is how we're taking care of our family.
Yes, I agree with everything that you said, and I just want to add, like you said, they may go to a Caucasian establishment, a Korean, Vietnamese, whatever the nationality is, but it's not one of our people. And, they come, they want a discount, or, just expect, I don't know. And I feel like, we're providing the same level of customer service as anyone else, but we also have mouths to feed. So I think that they also expect for the prices to be lower. But I feel like they should look at the quality of what we're offering. Everybody offers a different layer of customer service or product, as you will, or service. So I think that people should look into what it is that you're doing differently. Like, with you, Sabrina, I'm sure there's a whole level of sanitation and knowledge that comes with what you're doing, and people should acknowledge and respect that. And I think gaining that respect and trust in the community is difficult because it's automatically assumed that, you shouldn't have that same level.
I agree. I like to make my clients feel an experience because, again, like we said, it's not often that people in our community do get a time to relax, or there isn't a lot of time where you do just get to sit back and, feel and let somebody take care of you for once, because, we always out taking care of others. So when you come to my salon and you experience being the braider, not only are you receiving quality hair experiences or services, but you're receiving a vibe, a place where you can come and talk. You can put your feet up. I serve wine, tea. We watch TV, because you're spending a lot of time with that person, and energies are transferred. Money is the lowest form of energy that can be transferred. So yes, you are receiving money, and yes, I do need it, but at the same time, you're experiencing me. You're experiencing my person, my spirit, and my everything. And me showing that, I take quality in what I'm doing, and I do care about the health of your hair and everything else that I do offer. It's a lot. I'm pouring my heart out into this business. So, just asking for a little bit of money in return is crazy. But I'm going to keep doing it again because I love it, and I do want to spread, like I said, genuine business to my people because we deserve it. That's just how I feel.
Well stated, ladies. I think that there's a lot to say about relationship, and especially as a manicurist, from the shops that we have been giving our money to for years, there's a lot to say that when people come to me, they are initially surprised by the price tag. But once they experience the service, I will let them know, this is your first pedicure. Welcome to my chair. You'll probably never go anywhere else, because their feet have never been cared for. And you have to care for your feet. You have to care for your hair. And there is a price for that. If I could take insurance and you only pay the copay and the insurance company gave me the rest, then it wouldn't be a problem. But unfortunately, that's not how, it works. But there's something to say about relationship, professionalism, and someone who is knowledgeable and not just trying to take your money. And a lot of people will say, well, I've experienced Black people and they not this and they not that and they do this and they do that. And I'm like, well, do you still have on the same pair of shoes that you first bought? No. If the shoe doesn't fit, you try again. If you went to one McDonald's or one Popeyes and they burnt your food, either you're not going to go back to that one because that's the McDonald's that burns your food, and you're going to find the one that does it the best. And so we have to put that same energy when we support each other. I've bought some hair products that worked. I've bought some hair products that didn't, but I didn't just stop at that one. And, these are Black hair products. I'm like, okay, that doesn't work for me. That works for this person with that texture hair. So I'm going to go ahead and let them have that. And I'm going to keep searching for something that is Black owned that I can use on my daughter, my husband, and myself, because I want us to grow and to get better and to experience things and have the same financial freedom as everybody else, because we all deserve it. We all deserve it. We've all earned it.
All right, those were some powerful words that we can definitely take with us. I just want to say again, thank you, Sabrina.
Mark, I was just wondering if they can leave their information so we can, post their information, share, if they have any professional like IG pages or anything like that.
Absolutely. So definitely drop that in the chat. You can get that information from me as well at events, events, events at projectfind.org. I can definitely put you in touch with any of the individuals that have been a part of the series. So again, I want to thank you for saying yes. I want to remind everybody that we're done for this week, but we're not done. We have a whole nother week to go. Monday through Friday of next week, 7 p.m. Make sure you RSVP. Can anybody here name any of the Black chefs in the White House? Can you put that in the chat for me? All right. Then you need to be back Monday because we're going to have the soul food scholar coming talking to us and giving us a history lesson on the Black chefs in the White House. We have Shark Tank winner Brandon and Jordan Lloyd. We have Hell's Kitchen winner Chef Rock, and we're going to wrap things up with a party. And we have young people playing orchestra music. So with the OMP program, so I want everybody to RSVP, especially for that party. Come back with us. The presenters, you're welcome as well, as we just sort of relax and refuel. So I give you all a round of applause. You all can applaud, give them a round of applause, and thank you all. See you all next week.
And Romy Rome, you do deserve a good pedicure too.
Y'all be taking up all the space, man. Like I get in there and it'd be like 50 people ahead of me. I walk back out. So I got to rewatch it so I can learn all the tips that I could, do for myself when I'm not able to go to the chair.
Yep, you got to find
Where's your shop at?
So we are in the DMV area. I'm in Upper Marlboro. Melanie is in
Owings Mills.
Owings Mills. But if you go to that website that Melanie found and look for a certified master pedicurist, most of us work in single spaces. Just make an appointment. You'll be good to go. It ain't like the barber shop. You got to make an appointment. Okay. All right. Bye, everybody.
Take care. Be safe, everybody.
You too.
Good job, Mark.
Oh, hold on, presenters. Don't jump off yet.
Okay.
I'm going to let everybody else jump off. I'm going to stop the recording.
I feel like I need some ice cream now.